who's homeless. Poverty doesn't play to being an homeless
So
person.
what do you have to say in that regard?
No, I'll talk about the poverty. I don't totally agree with the poverty thing, because talking about drugs, we have like very very hard drugs, and they are expensive. These things are expensive. So how do poor people afford it? So I won't really say poverty, because rich people. Have you seen rich people taking drugs? They pay for it.
Okay, that is why.
So it's not always.
No, wait,
that's why. Sorry, that's why I don't really agree to that.
No, that is why
thing.
I
But maybe
categorize
you're
it
talking about the level of drugs.
No,
Yeah.
even wait. You know what? When people want to get those drugs we talk about, sometimes
Because
weed,
you can't be poor and be getting drugs.
When we talk about weed, we
It's
talk about
affordable for you. Then
we
you have the
talk
money.
about we talk about the drugs which are okay. So that's why I some people go as far as picking doing scavengers to scavenge irons, abandoned things, sell it at the end of the day to get themselves drugs.
Yeah.
Some people go as far as stealing to get themselves that expensive drug.
Yeah.
So once you are addicted to something, you will want to find that drug in any way. So, but sometimes those rich guys you talk about, maybe some of them find themselves in a situation whereby they run into debts, or they run into some loss in their business. They run into people just want to. That is why I categorize it. But the most index. Okay, let's come to it. When you want to tell me the number of people, the number of rich people in that do drugs is higher than the number of poor people.
It depends on the drug.
Bro,
That's what I'm saying.
it
It's not
depends.
like
Yeah. I'm not categorizing the drug. We don't need to go into.
drug does not so rich, no poor. They
So
all
then
consume
they
it.
all consume it, and
Yeah.
we go as far as people who do. There's some cheap drug where you see people who inhale gum, they inhale petrol, gas, because they can't afford that. So me, based on where I come from, based on what I see, and with what I read and see, with so many interviews going out there, when you go, it's come on, go to the Lekis. Can you see people who abuse drug in Lekis, in Najas, in those places? You can't see them littering on the road.
I think that's
compared
that's
to the activity.
No, that's what you're trying to explain. You see people. Okay, I think maybe you see these poor guys roaming around the street with these drugs. That's why you feel like it's just the poor that is doing the drugs. There are these rich men that are just inside the house. They are doing this every time. I went to a school where I'm talking about this because it's part of the things I've seen. I see these rich guys, very rich guys. They can sell their kind in less than 3 minutes. They are very rich, but you don't know because you don't see them roaming around.
Yeah.
That's why I don't say it's just the poor. The rich do it. They do it even more than the poor. But the thing is the way they are handled. They don't roam around the streets. They are inside somewhere, doing their thing. They do it more than the poor. The rich spend millions on it, but the poor just do this and you see them roaming around the street. So I don't think poverty really has. I think what he's trying to explain is maybe it shows more on poor people, but drug does not have rich or poor. It's expensive, so if you can afford it, then you have it,
Okay.
So I'll explain the causes. Most times, number one thing I would say is influence. Influence is a cause, Then I'll talk about circumstances. Sometimes people find themselves, the guys I've been with to interact with, I had a discussion with them, and sometimes it's they are depressed, they are unhappy, they are unhappy. It's the situation they found themselves, they're unhappy and they just need this thing to just slow them down, just see angels, So sometimes, that's what they tell you.
Maybe I would try taking drugs if I would see angels.
Yeah, they'll tell you. Some people feel
Real angels.
I don't know. They feel like it motivates them. Sometimes some people feel like it has this, like, it makes you feel different. So influence causes it. Sometimes you're in an environment where you see people doing it,
Yeah,
and then you are pushed to do it. So it causes that thing made you do it. So that's influence. Circumstances, maybe you're going through heartbreak, like you said, debts and all that. You know, so these are the things, are the causes. And then sometimes people just, I've seen someone, why doing drugs? He doesn't know.
No, I've seen people who want to try.
They don't know.
They just
Yeah, sometimes people want to explore.
Don't try drugs, guys. It's not new.
So some people want to explore, and
They just wanna
during
try.
that, it's just hard for them to stop. You know. So this thing is something we should just keep telling people. You know.
All right.
Tell people if you're going through a problem, it's not by doing drugs. A drug won't solve your problem.
Okay.
You know, it's make you feel alright at the moment, but it's not gonna solve your problem.
All
You
right.
know? Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. I know my viewers out there, they are going to learn tons of things from the both of you, and I'm really very grateful you came. So we are actually about calling it a wrap, but before we actually do call it a wrap, I want to say one thing, which is I just want us to look into like what are the ways, or how do we think this drug issue can be tackled?
Okay. You see, first of all, like I said earlier, the first thing is, sometimes when you have a problem, when some people have problem and you have other people to tell you you have this problem. That's sometimes you won't believe you have that problem until you come to realization that okay, this is a problem for me, and that is the first step.
Acknowledging you have a
becoming
problem.
a problem, you're having that urge to do it. You can't stay off 24 hours, you can't stay off a week without doing it. So once you realize this is a problem, then you seek, the next thing you need to do is to seek help. Seeking help from the right channel. So, and this is where the government, the NGO, and the community needs to come in. Because first of all, you don't need to condemn people. If you want to condemn me, I'm going to run away from you.
Which is, guys, this thing he just said now is deeper than actually the way it sounds, because we are living in a world today where people don't literally come out. A lot of hypocrisy, a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
You can't really come out and say this is the problem, because the question is who is ready to hear. Even the ones that are ready to hear, who wants to act? Even the ones that want to act, are they really act? Or they are using it to chase clouds?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So,
let me not
and,
take over what you're
when
saying.
if you don't need to condemn them,
Yeah.
because condemning them more will make them run away from you.
Go back to their shell.
You accept them. Then the therapy, we need to have a center where those people can go to seek those help professionally. Because, and I come across a video where people bring the before and after of drug addicted people. They bring them to their workshop to talk to them. You need to let people know, okay, you need to ask people who have been through that situation. If somebody who has not walked through your shoe,
they will never understand.
they won't understand.
Yeah.
So they need those people who has walked into that genuinely, not somebody who just want to act up as as for me.
Who's
I'm not-
imagining?
like when it comes to drug, it's an imaginary thing for me.
Yeah, but me, so what do I know? I can't say
I don't know
anything.
how it does them,
Yeah.
except them saying this is
Yeah.
how we feel. So you need to bring somebody who has been in that shoe, who has overcome that stuff. Then you find a section for them. The family as well need to give them support. But where we come from, it's only when you are
rare.
doing good,
Yeah.
people want to associate with you. But if you are on the other side, the family will support you. But
Yeah.
just imagine in a situation whereby the street rejects you, your friends reject you. The last person that should never do that is your family. No matter what situation you find yourself, they should be there. Because that's why we say blood is thicker than water.
Yeah.
And the government themselves should make a provision of rehabilitating these people, giving them the necessary assistance. So that is one of the thing. And to stop this thing, sometimes you need to make that self-determination.
Alright.
That self-determination is because it takes you self-determination to go for your therapist section,
Yes.
to be open,
Yeah.
and to sometimes you might need to cut away some friends, some
Yes.
past influence.
Mm-hmm.
Then you need to reschedule your life. Okay, this is the life I've been living before. Reality of what you lose.
Yeah.
Because you lose, you're gonna lose something. So then, and don't look down yourself like, okay, I've lose this thing, I don't know how I'm gonna. You can. That is why you need those professionals to walk into their life, be their friends, talk to them, and once the guy is open, you break into them, let them open, and you accept them. The family support, the government, the community, and provide them. Let me just say one thing is most important: taking people out of a box and leave them empty. They will still go back. But give them something they will find themselves occupied with.
Yeah.
And maybe quarterly or I don't know, periodically, you need to check on them.
Yeah.
If they were
They should be monitored to know if they are
this
actually
is here with themselves.
keeping it
So
or not.
I think that is the best way. But the most important thing there is self-determination, acknowledgement, and have that determination to stop it. Because if those services are there, you don't have that determination,
Okay, we stop
nothing is
there.
gonna work.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Femi. Next thing I want to come to you now. This is we agree that this is a very huge problem. It doesn't matter the continent, be it Africa, Europe, America, anywhere, it's everywhere. But because I have a mixed fan base in my YouTube. Like people come from all over the world, right? Maybe it doesn't so anyone listening or hearing today, what do you want to tell them? How can we be able to tackle this issue? Let's say it's a global pandemic, not just the COVID-19.
That's true.
Yeah. So how do you think this can be tackled?
Yeah, talking about drugs, this has been happening for a long time.
For decades.
For a very long time. So for who hasn't done it, I would say don't do it.
Okay.
Don't try it.
Did you hear that? Don't try.
Don't try it, For who hasn't done it, don't try it. There's no joy in it, there's no pleasure in it, For who has found himself or herself in it, give up on it, It won't lead you anywhere. Doesn't have a good end, For people doing it, just as he said it the other time, it's determination. I want you to just put it in mind today, like this let me just stop this thing, Try and stop it and see what happens. For who has been doing it, try and stop it. Understand that no matter how hard you try and make yourself good, no matter how you try and make yourself feel good about it, it doesn't have a good end, If you can just know that, then I think you should understand that, okay, this does not have a good end, then why am I doing it? So, and then for the society, for the government, it's really hard to tackle. We didn't even talk about, okay, how does this drug come? The government should try and tackle the logistics. How these things are moved. Tackle
into
that.
the country.
But
It's difficult.
there's something.
Yeah.
Some people there are some drug people don't use nowadays.
Yeah.
They don't use. There are some drug they use nowadays whereby they don't need to get it from all these drugs. They go to the pharmacy because majority of people who play a major role in this drug abuse stuff, I would say most of the pharmacy.
No. See.
Okay.
All right.
Doctors, nurses, people who works in health
From
sector.
a health sector.
They give out these drugs at more expensive price.
But sometimes they don't even know these people want to use it for.
No,
want to abuse
but
it.
okay, let's come to think of it. Now fine.
Because you can come and buy a
I
drug.
can't just go into a pharmacy here and say I need what's the name?
Codeine.
No, like antibiotic.
Yeah. Okay.
They will never.
They go to the
Get the
hospital,
prescription.
get the prescription, and they will never. If the doctor told me 12 pieces, they won't give me 12.5 prescription as lapses. I tried it one day. I didn't go to the clinic to get a new prescription, and I gave them. They said,
no, not.
This has expired. You need to get a new one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you know, I understand what you're saying. This, of course, there are bad doctors and pharmacists who will sell.
Everywhere.
They don't care. They want to make their money. So of course, this message is also for them.
But yeah.
If you try and destroy people's life, then be ready for these people to still face you, because you cannot destroy somebody's life and it won't affect you.
Yeah, it's always
definitely
like
going
circuit.
to affect you. Yeah. So to those pharmacists and doctors who sells these things, you know, they should try and stop it. The government should try and tackle the logistics, how this thing is spreading. You know, it's a difficult thing, but I'm sure one day
governmental regulations can help.
yeah,
actually.
yeah, it can. So what's to round this whole thing up is, I won't say the government or the society. It's about individual. Just understand that this is bad. This is wrong. If you're going through a problem, there are 1,001 ways to resolve that problem. It's not by doing drugs. Look for an alternative, and you will get one. You know, just don't think about drug making solving your problem. You know, it won't solve your problem. Yeah, that's
All right, yeah, guys, you've heard the advice from Nelson. Nelson, thank you so much. This is actually a very deep insight. Yeah, so Femi, we just like you to give them your final word, your advice to anyone that want to take ganja. Oh, shy you.
okay,
That kind of thing.
there's
no ganja. What's ganja?
This is ganja.
No, you are mixing things up. You're mixing things up. Let me explain something. Don't do hard drugs.
Is drugs not ganja?
Don't do hard drugs. Marijuana is different. I do marijuana and
Okay,
it's
guys.
different.
Marijuana is
Don't abuse any drug. That's my advice to
okay.
anyone out there. Don't abuse any drug. You know, think about your life.
Yeah.
Life is
important.
beautiful. Life is beautiful.
Yeah.
okay. My advice to anyone.
It is long beard.
My advice to anyone is who is into that or who is planning to go into it. Remember one thing most. Remember yourself, your life. And then there's one thing I always ring at the back of my mind every time. How will my family think if anything bad happens to me?
Because of you.
Remember those ones that loves you.
Yeah.
Remember those ones who's gonna go through a lot of pains when such a thing happens.
I'm feeling
Because
emotional.
people lost their life during in the process of taking drugs.
Yeah.
You see people taking Eldorado and they fall, and you transmit that pain to those innocent people who are not there. So there's some people that's going to be affected after the mistake you make. So think about those things. Think about your future. Think about yourself. And think about those loved ones around you. And the only person who could help, it's you, nobody else. Because if somebody want to give me food, you can't force me to eat the food, except I want to have it. So, and the next thing is, I would say, choose your friends, know your friends. I have a lot of friends, but I don't do what most of the thing they do. No one is going to kill me, and we've been together for years, for decades. But it's my personal choice. I'm not lucky. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just lucky not to be in their shoe. But you know, the best way is to think about those people. I always think about my mom. What's going to happen to her? I always think about my family. I think about my brothers. Think about my sisters. And think about those ones that love me. So, and what would they think of me? And what is going to happen? I don't want to take those
people in pain.
and transfer it to them. So I think that is the only advice that I would give. And you shouldn't lose hope. We come from a country where we believe once you are alive, there's hope.
Wow. Guys, this is so emotional and so in depth. Thank you so much, Femi. Guys, these guys are so in depth, and I'm so glad we had to do this video today at this time, because a lot of people needed to hear this. Like they've told you, they've said, before you think of joining others, youthful exuberance, you want to belong. Others are looking at you like social misfits. You just want to be part of it. You want to be part of the influence. Maybe you're going through one thing or the other. Drugs is not the solution, like you've heard from them. Don't think about it if you've not done it before. And if you're doing it, I think you should seek for help. Like they said, from the right channel. Because seeking for help from the wrong people also can damage you. You know, there are a lot of psychological effects, a lot of trauma that people into drugs go through. Like the other time my mom was speaking to me, there was a guy we used to know. She was like, if you see him now, you can't recognize him because he's gone. He's just moving. He's been into drugs for like how many years? So guys, we cannot overemphasize the effect of drugs. Like they've said, keep up from drugs. If today is the first time I'm coming back to my channel, is your Get Great Fit, I just want to say thank you and keep sticking with us. The family keeps growing. Subscribers keep growing each and every time, guys. I really want to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and at the same time, for sure, Femi and Nelson is going to be here, and there is a pretty lady, she's very beautiful, that helped me recording this video. I really want to say thank you, girl. Thank you so much for your time, your patience, and everything. And for those of you that returning or just subscribing for the first time, I'll enjoy you to give us a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification button. So each time I post any kind of video, you're going to see it. So for sure, these guys are going to come back on a very sensitive topic, which I'm just going to put both of them on a very hot seat. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I know I'll put them on a hot seat, like very hot. I have a plan for them because they are good and they have a very broad perspective. So people like this that are sound mentally, place them on a hot seat and leave them there. So at this juncture, guys, we want to say goodbye and thank you. Do have a lovely weekend, okay?